In law enforcement history, there are rare instances when a criminal mind proves to be a formidable adversary, capable of outsmarting even the most seasoned of detectives. Such is the tale of this suspect. But what exactly did he do, and how did he do it? Stay tuned to Storyscape to find out. Before we get into today's video, take a moment to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. Be sure to also hit that notification bell so that you won't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. On an ordinary evening in 2011, a local 7-Eleven set off alarm bells, and reports of an armed robbery flooded into the local police department. However, when the police arrived at the scene, the suspect had vanished. Their search expanded, leading them to a nearby house where they heard commotion. With no other leads, they stormed in and found Jeff Pearson, a known heroin addict, sitting inside with a gun. Lacking further evidence, they arrested him and took him in for questioning.
Am I under arrest?
For now.
I'm under arrest?
Yeah, I'll explain everything, but before I explain myself to you, before we talk to each other, I need to read your rights, okay?
What am I under arrest for?
Well, like I said, I need to read your rights first. Obviously, the charge is robbery, okay?
The next 24 hours were captured on police cameras in the interview room. Surprisingly, this footage was originally uploaded to Jeff's own YouTube channel on September 25, 2011, marking the beginning of his cult figure status and becoming a legend in the interrogation community. Jeff was in police custody for nearly a full day. Considering that the robbery and arrest occurred in Georgia, where the typical minimum sentence ranged from 10 years to life without parole, it seemed that Jeff was destined for a long prison term. However, what unfolded was far from the norm. Instead of spending decades behind bars, Jeff found himself enjoying drinks and candy for a day while demonstrating remarkable expertise in handling police custody. The following footage provides an intricate look into the tactics employed by law enforcement and how to skillfully evade them. The video commences with Jeff handcuffed in a small windowless room, dressed in prison scrubs. Evidently, he had already undergone processing and spent time in his cell while police gathered evidence and prepared for questioning. Jeff immediately starts by asking if he's under arrest and on what grounds, demonstrating his preparedness for the situation. At this moment, Jeff follows the right approach, and there are two clear options to consider. If you're neither under arrest nor detained, you can assert that you're not obliged to stay or answer questions, maintaining your right to leave the interrogation. However, if you are indeed under arrest, you should promptly request a lawyer and remain silent until one is provided. These choices offer the best chance to halt the police and build a strong defense. Interestingly, in the United States, the officer is legally required to remind you of this when making an arrest. These three crucial points are often overlooked by ordinary citizens due to the initial panic of being arrested.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to the lawyer for advice before we question you. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer and you want one, a lawyer will be provided for you. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you'll still have the right to stop answering questions at any time. Does that make sense? You've probably heard these before, haven't you?
Furthermore, because these rights are frequently depicted in media like police shows and movies, people often skim over them when they read their rights, failing to grasp the valuable information that can keep them safe while in police custody. Notably, when you ask for a lawyer while under arrest, law enforcement is prohibited from further questioning, granting you an indisputable right to refuse to answer any questions until you have an attorney present. The detective concludes the rights with a subtly snide remark about Jeff's criminal history.
Do you understand your rights? Do you understand your rights, Jeff? Yes or no? You understand?
We're getting paid more than you are, so we can sit here for a long time, man.
I just need you to answer me yes or no. Do you understand your rights? Let's get through that question. Do you understand what I read you? Do you comprehend what I read you?
Intending to remind him of his previous convictions. Jeff, having been explicitly informed of his rights to remain silent, chooses to exercise that right. At this point, the leading detective leans back in his chair, seemingly unconcerned with Jeff's silence, but his body language hints at some unease. It's evident that the detective senses the challenges ahead.
If you got something that says you didn't do this robbery, this is your chance to talk to us.
Okay, good cop.
No, usually I'm the prick.
You look like the prick.
I am.
Despite the cop's attempts to intimidate Jeff, when it comes to dominance, Jeff holds the upper hand and disregards their efforts. In this initial round of interrogation, Jeff exhibited the correct behavior given his current circumstances. He recognizes that the police lack evidence against him, otherwise they wouldn't be engaging with him. So he remains silent and returns to his cell, only to be brought back 2 hours later for round 2.
You wanted a Coke?
Yeah.
You gonna be able to pop it open, or you need me to?
I need methadone.
You need methadone?
Yeah, you guys can get me that methadone or what?
I don't have any. Do you have medication for it, or a prescription for it? Or?
No.
What do you need methadone for?
Because I'm a fucking junkie, and you guys, I can't get no methadone. I'm going to go through withdrawal here in a minute.
In the second round, Jeff starts making some requests. However, all he asks for is a simple can of soda upon his return to the interrogation room, and brings up the withdrawals he's likely experiencing. He also requests medication, specifically methadone, which can effectively alleviate withdrawal symptoms and cravings, potentially making his time in police custody more manageable.
How long you been using heroin?
Long time, buddy.
10 years? 15 years?
I hardly been alive that long. What are you trying to talk to me about here?
Talk to you about what happened last night. Look, here's the deal. Either you're in a bad set of circumstances, or you went and committed an armed robbery last night.
Yeah,
right?
I'm in a shitty, wrong place at the wrong time, obviously. I didn't commit no fucking armed robbery.
All right, then let's talk about this. Let's
I don't
not
have
keep
nothing.
up
I
the
don't talk
act.
to the police, man.
The police attempt to engage Jeff in conversation again, but he's done with personal discussions and wants to focus on the matter at hand. From his perspective, he's been arrested for something he didn't do and is eager to leave as soon as possible. Drawing from his experience within the system, Jeff recognizes the cop's attempts to elicit a confession, and he openly confronts the officer about it, despite the cop's denial. The irony of the situation, with the cop claiming not to seek a confession while having Jeff handcuffed in an interrogation room, is rather amusing.
Okay.
I've been through the system, buddy. I know how it
you
works.
have. I know you have,
You're
Jeff.
not my friend.
I'm not your friend.
You're trying to fucking get me. Or you're
No,
trying
I'm not trying to get
all
you.
you're trying to get is some fucking stupid ass fucking confession, and you're not gonna get one.
Jeff, I'm not going to get a confession out of you for nothing.
Exactly, because I
And
didn't
I'm
do
not
nothing.
trying to get a confession out of you.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't commit no armed robbery, and y'all ain't got no fucking evidence saying I did. Let me go. All you did is find me sitting in my buddy's house because my fucking buddy's dog's going ape shit. I go outside, there are cops everywhere, and they spotlight me. They say, "Come here." I say, "What's up?" They search me. They ain't find
Hang on.
nothing. What's
Let
up?
me read this.
No,
Yes.
because I'm not gonna sign it.
You don't have to sign it. But let me read it for you. Okay?
I'm not signing nothing.
You don't have to sign it.
Jeff's responses appeared nearly rehearsed, showcasing an impressive understanding of personal legal defense. All the more remarkable when considering that he is likely grappling with withdrawals. One of the main techniques used in this type of interrogation is the Reed technique. Developed in the 1960s, this method involves 9 steps, commencing with a polite discussion about the accusations and employing body language and actions to imply guilt. It concludes with offering the suspect 2 statements, both implying guilt, effectively cornering the individual and often extracting false confessions from innocent suspects. Interestingly, the technique's original case crumbled when it was revealed that the man had given a false confession and had not actually killed his wife, underscoring the technique's effectiveness in coercing confessions. At this point, Jeff has requested a lawyer and refuses to answer any questions. However, we're only halfway through the footage, and Jeff's ability to defend himself while undermining the officer continues to improve. The officer informs Jeff that there is enough evidence, but because Jeff maintains his innocence, the officer insists on hearing Jeff's side of the story. In response, Jeff reiterates his claim of innocence. The officer seizes this response as a reason to press Jeff for his side, citing a wealth of physical evidence. Jeff, inquisitively, asks for specifics, prompting the officer to retort with, "Why should I tell you that?"
Tell me what happened last night. Plain and simple. Your side of the story.
I'm not talking to you. I'm a lawyer.
All right. This is what I don't understand. I know, but this is what I don't understand, Jeff. You were sitting there talking just like you were ready to sit here and tell me what happened last night, and then all of a sudden I read that to you, and you screw it, I ain't talking to you. I want a lawyer. I don't understand that. What changed just in the...
Because I told you what, I already told you what happened.
You didn't.
How didn't I?
You didn't tell me what happened last night.
How didn't I just tell you what?
But now you've handcuffed me, and I can't talk to you because you've asked for an attorney. So, okay, that's fine. But I will tell you right now, you're still on a hold for a robbery.
I know. I don't know why. I need a fucking lawyer because obviously I didn't do nothing. And obviously you guys know I didn't do nothing because I've been arrested for the same bullshit before, and you guys don't interview me this much. So, wham bam, thank you for the coke. Put me back in the cell. That's my home.
We haven't interviewed you yet.
Here's where the detective begins to appear desperate. Recognizing that time is running out, he abandons elaborate techniques and instead resorts to thinly veiled threats, making false claims of evidence that he could potentially use against Jeff. While these claims might typically serve to intimidate a suspect into panicking and revealing more information, in this case, the officer uses a feeble argument, stating that because Jeff hasn't cooperated, he won't help Jeff in return. The detective becomes increasingly desperate, attempting to strike a bargain with Jeff by offering to put in a good word with his parole officer if he cooperates.
Here's what the deal is. I have enough evidence
Like what?
of the armed robbery, okay? But, you know, if you're saying you didn't do it, you need to give me your side of the story.
I didn't do it.
Okay, well, give me your side of the story. You got to, convince me. Because I got a lot of evidence. I got a lot of physical evidence.
Well, like what? Name the physical
Well, I don't need to, why should I tell you that?
However, Jeff quickly sees that it means nothing. And truly, what does a gold star mean if you're stuck in prison for 20 years? This reinforces the idea that the police lack any substantial evidence to convict Jeff, and they are well aware that time is running out. Jeff has already requested a lawyer, yet they persist in questioning him, a clear violation of the rights they've read to him 3 times. They understand that if they don't elicit a response from him soon, their window of opportunity will close.
There's only a couple pieces of evidence I'm missing.
Name them.
What's that?
Name them.
Well, why do I need to do that? You haven't helped me out at all. You give me a little piece of evidence, now give me a little something. All right? What time do you get over to Aaron's house?
No, anything I say here can and will be used against me.
Sure, but anything you say here, I can also tell your parole officer that you helped me out.
That doesn't mean dick.
Jeff, on the other hand, keeps a close eye on the clock. For the next 4 minutes, Jeff continues to deny and resist the police efforts. They bring up the gun found with him, attempt to strike a deal, and even try to intimidate him with the prospect of returning to prison without the drugs he's dependent on. Through it all, Jeff maintains a stoic demeanor, recognizing that he's on the verge of victory.
I'm done, man. Fuck this. I'm not even answering. All this shit that I just said is gonna be fucking written in the discovery now, right?
What? You haven't said nothing.
I mean, every little stupid thing that you've asked me, dude, is gonna be in the discovery.
I'm not even going to do discovery.
The prosecutor is.
Okay. So
Throughout these last few hours, the police have been questioning a man clearly in pain, withholding the prescription drug he needs. They repeatedly inquire about a crime for which they lack evidence. Meanwhile, Jeff handles the situation casually, requesting sodas and chocolate bars. He knows that speaking could lead him down a perilous path, so he carefully asserts his rights. 12 hours later, records show he was released from custody and sent on his way. The story even gets better as Jeff's life takes a turn for the better. He conquers his heroin addiction and dedicates his time to uploading content to the same YouTube channel where this video was originally posted. He creates music and shares valuable tips on avoiding police tricks. We're sure you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you have yet to do so. Be sure to also hit that notification bell because we have more interesting stories on the way. We'll see you in the next video.